There are moments in history where the question is no longer what is right, but who will act. St. Nestor of Thessalonica lived during such a moment. He lived in the early 4th century, under the Roman Emperor Maximian, a time when Christianity was not merely unpopular, but criminal. To confess Christ openly was to risk imprisonment, torture, and death. And in the cities of the empire, that death was often made into spectacle. In Thessalonica, the arena had become a place of entertainment built on cruelty. Christians were dragged before crowds, untrained and unarmed, and forced to face a professional gladiator named Laius. Laius was strong, experienced, and celebrated by the emperor himself. His victories were not athletic contests, they were executions. The defeated were often thrown onto iron spikes, their deaths turned into applause. The crowd cheered, the emperor watched, and the innocent died. Saint Nestor was young. He was not a soldier. He was not a gladiator. He had no reason by worldly standards to step forward, and yet he watched what was happening, and something in him refused to remain silent. This is where the story becomes important. Stoicism teaches that a man must not be ruled by fear. It teaches that death is not the greatest evil, and that injustice is worse than suffering. A Stoic would look at the arena and recognize that the crowd's pleasure was corrupt, that the emperor's cruelty was irrational, and that the victims were innocent. But Stoicism alone does not demand action. Christianity does. Saint Nestor did not merely feel indignation. He did not retreat into private virtue. He went instead to the prison where Saint Demetrius, his teacher and spiritual father, was being held for his faith. Saint Nestor asked Demetrius for his blessing to confront Laius. This is crucial. Saint Nestor did not act out of pride or impulse. He sought blessing. He submitted his will before offering his life. Demetrius knew what this meant. He knew Nestor would almost certainly die, and yet he blessed him, saying simply, "Go, and you will conquer." Saint Nestor then walked into the arena. He did not boast. He did not threaten. He did not display rage. Before the fight began, Saint Nestor prayed, "God of Demetrius, help me." This prayer matters. Stoicism teaches self-control and courage, but Christianity teaches surrender. Saint Nestor did not trust in strength alone. He entrusted himself to God. Against all expectation, Saint Nestor defeated Laius. The professional killer fell. The executions ended. The innocent was spared. For a moment, the arena fell silent, and then the cost came due. Emperor Maximian was humiliated. His champion was dead. His authority was challenged, not by rebellion, but by righteousness. He ordered Saint Nestor's execution shortly after. Nestor was put to death, traditionally by beheading. Demetrius was executed soon after as well, speared in prison. Neither man resisted death, neither sought escape. Both accepted martyrdom. Here is where Stoicism and Christianity meet, and where Christianity completes what Stoicism begins. Stoicism teaches courage in the face of death. Nestor had that. Stoicism teaches indifference to external loss. Nestor had that. Stoicism teaches that a man should not allow injustice even to save his own life. Nestor lived that. But Christianity goes further. Christianity teaches that strength exists for the sake of others, that defending the innocent is not optional. It is a moral duty, even when it costs everything. Saint Nestor did not fight to prove he was strong. He fought because others were weak. He did not seek glory. He accepted death so others would not be slaughtered for sport. This is the completion. Stoicism teaches the man how to stand firm. Christianity teaches him when he must step forward. Stoicism forms a disciplined man. Christianity sends him into the world. Saint Nestor shows us that true masculinity is not domination, and true courage is not aggression. It is the willingness to place oneself between evil and the innocent, to absorb the cost so others do not have to. That is not passivity. That is not weakness. That is strength ordered toward love. And that is why Saint Nestor is remembered, not as a gladiator, but as a defender and a hero.